All right. Welcome to Noita. You suck. This is a guide that I'm making after playing over 3,000 hours of Noita. I've done it all live on stream. My alias is DunkOrSlam, and I play on Twitch. And I've had a lot of people recently ask me to give them tips or advice. And I am kind of operating under the assumption that these are individuals who have bought Noita and have probably played like 5 to 20 runs, and they're dying a lot and they get a little bit overwhelmed. So the reason I have that specific name to the title is actually inspired from a Dota 2 guide that I remember saying, "Welcome to Dota 2, you suck." And really, what you learn from a guide like that is that information is crucial. Knowledge is crucial to that game, and that is no different with Noita. Information is crucial in this game, and what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to try to do it as quickly as I can, is I'm going to cram a ton of knowledge into your brain in this guide. So first I want to show you that we have no mods turned on, they're all turned off, and I'm just going to jump into a random run. Just hit new game. Here we go. So as we're playing here, sorry if I skip some things that are not beginner friendly, but at the same time, I will try to go over things that I feel are necessary to know to lay a foundation for a new player. So right off the bat, we started with a flask called Chaotic Polymorphing. In general, pretty garbage flask. There are a lot of cool things you can do with it, but for a new player, just pour this out. You're pretty much, as a new player, when you first start out, you have a starter quest, an unofficial starter quest, and that is get water. Fill your flask with water. There are a couple reliable spots where you can get water. Like if I head to the left, there is a spot that always has water, but it's decently reliable that you can get water down here. Also, we started off with a bomb wand that does allow us to create a little edge in this mountain here, and we could climb up it if we like. And over here, at the top of that mountain, there is a orb. If you fly up a little bit, there's a little orb that will give you 25 health. I strongly recommend grabbing that orb. As a new player, 25 health is amazing. Any 25 health that you can find, grab it. Just do it. Don't question, oh, is it going to make the boss harder or anything? Just grab it. 25 health is crucial to you as a new player, so you can worry about the repercussions later. Survival is the #1 thing. So as I'm jumping around here, I don't really look too much into the wands. I just grab them because I know that any wand is better than no wand in these empty slots. So pick up the wands as you see, and we are searching. I may have walked past it actually, not thinking. Have I passed any water? No, I have not. So we're trying to finish our starter quest of getting water. There is some stuff here though I can see. Let's go ahead and try to... If you see like easy materials to dig like wood, I'd recommend it over these harder materials like the rock and all that. So dig the wood. And actually, you know what? Let's refrain from digging too much because, yeah, there we go. We're on fire. Run, run, run. There's a... So whenever I'm on fire, you'll see me kind of sprint around looking for any damp ground. Like there's a little bit of water pixels, just go run in that. If you killed any enemies recently, sometimes there's pools of blood around them. Also, you can run for that. You need to have a flask of water so you don't have to rely on that, but that's pretty much what I did there. Alright, we're trying to finish our starter quest. That is oil. We do not want oil. Though, in a desperate situation, if you're ever on fire... Let's see if I can ignite myself. Can I get on fire? Yeah, there you go. If you're ever on fire and you don't have any water, dunk yourself in oil. That can work. But just keep in mind that now I am very highly flammable while I wait to find some water. And there's a fire guy right there, so... that just adds to the danger. Also, keep in mind that this guide here is probably not going to be your most entertaining or anything like that. My sole purpose of this guide is to create something that can link people on the channel whenever they stop by and they say that they're new and they need advice. And I feel after 3,000 hours, I'm decently qualified to help them lay a foundation so they can begin to farm wins in Noita, as I have over 1,000 wins. And I've really slowed down a lot in farming wins just because I enjoy doing some crazier runs lately. So right here, this is a trap wand. You'll notice that there are traps in the game, mainly in the early levels, and you have to pay attention to how they work. So this one right here is a wand, but if you follow this line, you're like, okay, where does this go? All right, to this box with electricity on it. So I'm going to guess whenever you grab that, this box will, you know, set off electricity, which will pulse through here. So the way you can avoid that is just dip your toes in it, and it's actually kind of tricky. You dip your toes in it, and you're just grabbing the wand out real quickly. That may be considered a somewhat advanced mechanic, but even here, the whiskey didn't conduct very well with the electricity, but some things like water can conduct way better, and they can be kind of dangerous. But we grabbed the wand out of it, was no big deal. If you don't feel safe doing that, another option would be that right here at the edge of it, you can kind of shoot an explosive. And well, actually, I should have just shot it directly into this. I shouldn't have shot it right that far down. Shoot at that. Boom. There you go. Detonates it. Depending on your explosive, you can actually detonate the rusted steel as well. But you would need something like a bomb, I guess, is what I should have done that with. Wasn't really thinking. Usually, I just snag it out of there. I don't really think about it too much. Okay, so fire dude's still here. Still an issue, but I don't want to deal with him because I'm looking for water. I'm still on the starter quest. This wand here is a shuffle wand. So one of the key things I look for is shuffle says no or yes. No is the superior wand. You do not want these yes wands. Right now, if you see a yes wand, the only thing you're looking at is, are the spells on it any good? So yeah, this is not a good spell. That's one of those things you'll just learn over time, which spells are good and which are bad. That guy is kind of an advanced dodge there. Sorry if that's a little annoying. I'm requiring you to kind of know a couple advanced dodges if you don't have water. That's pretty much the situation we're in right now. Oops. Got myself on fire. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this flask because it's an emergency situation. Boom. Put out the fire. So our health is already pretty low. Hasn't been the greatest start to the run. And I keep igniting myself on fire just trying to look for a flask here. Oh. But the reason I'm keeping this run going, this is not a great start. You know what? We'll fill this with invis for now. This can act as a crappy way to put out fire, but it's not the best. But I want to keep this run going to show you guys that it doesn't require very much to get a good run going. Like sometimes you just get a crappy start, and this would be considered a crappy start. We're having a hard time finding our starting flask of water. There's a pheromone, but again, we're looking for some kind of water. You could also use things like blood. Blood's not bad. But we do have some blood here, so we're pouring out the invis, because invis is pretty garbage in terms of putting out fire. Because the starter quest, the purpose of the starter quest that I always say is like looking for water, is putting out fire is the whole goal. Invis does not put out fire very well. Blood and water does put out fire very well. We have a little bit of blood, not much, but it's something. There we go. It's got some blood. Looking good now. Okay. They carry enemies before you go filling up any flask. Ooh, even a blood flash straight up. So now we have 2 flasks to put out fire. It may seem like it's kind of bleak right now. You're looking at our health thinking, oh, all right, well, you know, is this run screwed? And I would recommend for a lot of players, you know what? If you're very new, go ahead and move on to the next level. Because you still have a lot to learn, and you have a lot of runs that are going to die to things that you don't know yet. Like, it's an enemy you've never seen before, and the only way you will know how to deal with them is by getting to those levels and probably dying to them once or twice. So go ahead, get those deaths out of the way. But since I clearly know the attack patterns of those enemies, I'll collect a little bit more gold before I move on. I'm just killing some frogs. We haven't found any health in the level. That's one of the key things that we're looking around. A lot of players think that you stay around in these early levels for the sole purpose of farming gold. But more important than farming gold is the health that you get. I feel like health is what allows for consistency in Noita. And if you're thinking there's only... Some people think that only 1 health spawns in the first area. But that's not true. I've literally gotten 6 health spawns. That means it was 150 HP worth of health in the first zone alone, not including the starter orbs. So it's just random. You just look around. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Alright, so Flum's a pretty crappy flask. We'll grab it just so we have our full flask here. But it's not the greatest. It's pretty trash. Not really something a new player will want to make use of. But we could empty it out if we find another material that's nice. So if you see toxic sludge like this, you can spray water on top of it. It'll kind of make it safe. You know, it turns into water. So makes it not nearly as scary. But it is annoying whenever it bursts out. You'll notice that kind of stuff happen. But it's quickly converting over to regular water. So no big deal. Again, so Keep water on you at all times. If you see me walking through fire and stuff, as long as I have spraying water on myself, I can strut right through fire. As long as I keep my character damp, you know, keep him moist, then it's no big deal. So we got 333 gold. Worm pheromone, also trash. This enemy right here, just blow him up as soon as possible. Don't be below him when you blow him up. It's not a dangerous enemy, and if you want, you can just leave him alive. I do that all the time too. But I feel like sometimes it's necessary to show how he dies so that a new player doesn't stand directly below him and say, oh, let me kill that guy, because then he blows up and acid pours all over him and you just die. And I'm trying to pretty much give you hundreds of hours of Noita knowledge and save you from those simple deaths, because somebody could have been, you know, exploring this area for 30-45 minutes to die that way, and I would rather you just see in this run, hey, that could kill you, okay, that saved you maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Get that death out of the way. Let me die so that you don't have to, right? Because I've died that death, trust me. I remember it very vividly. It was traumatic. Alright, so our gold's looking pretty good. Oh, these little guys are nice. These little spider clumps. You can just chill and like farm gold off of them. Nice little clump of gold. So here you go. Look at our gold. I mean, our health is not great. We did not find any health, and I feel like too many players consider that the norm. They're just like, oh, I didn't find any health, but there was probably some health to find here. But with 24 HP, let's not risk it. Just go ahead and move on. There is a little tablet over here. I consider it a somewhat, not super advanced. It's a pretty easy mechanic to learn, but since this is a super basic foundation for beginners, we're not going to go into too much detail of how to utilize that. But if you'd like to, you feel free to look up the tablet, because there are tons of guides talking about the tablet, I'm sure. Alright, so we're looking to leave, and leaving is easy. It's easy to find a portal. Go down. That's where all the portals are. I mean, that one was sealed off. We could have bombed into it. It's no big deal. I'm just like, eh. Alright, so here we go. Into the next portal. We refill our flask to make sure it's full of water, and then we grab our health, and we can stall on grabbing that refresher just to make sure that there's nothing here that I would like to utilize. Because let's say that there was a circle of vigor. Circle of vigor, it's a circle that heals the player. Well, when you buy it, it already has 2 charges. So if you grab this refresher, then you go over here and you buy the circle of vigor, you kind of wasted 2 charges. What I mean by that is you could have bought the circle of vigor, used the heal in the level, came back up here, grabbed the refresher, and gotten 2 more charges. So that's just an example. Okay, so our best wand in this group, this is a circle of stillness. This freezes enemies. Can be pretty awesome, pretty useful. So we'll go ahead and put it up here. We may need it later. If we put a spell on here, even though this is a shuffle wand, and this one here is a non-shuffle wand, shuffles are garbage, yes. But until we have a decent non-shuffle, you will be forced to kind of work with some of these shuffle wands. So when we shoot this, that's not bad, right? We could use that. Another possible combo is one of these spark bolts. Spark bolts is an amazing spell. Put that on there. Another pretty good one. This one has good range too, so you can be much safer. Bubble spark, or I mean just bubble. You spam this. This one's really fast, but as you can see, not very accurate. But a game-winning combo, or at least an early game-winning combo, would be that if you had a homing, then you have these. You just spam them. It just homes into all the enemies, killing everything, no problem. So that's a good combo to know. This is a very common early game wand. The 0.10, 0.07 shuffle. You'll see it pretty common. Like I see it maybe 1 every 4 or 5 runs. If you're exploring a lot. If you don't explore very much, then you probably don't see it very often. But right here, the one that's the prize of all these spells is the Spitter Bolt timer. We aren't going to use it right now, but this is pretty much our investment for our future. Because any kind of timer or trigger on these really cheap spells, like Spark Bolt or Spitter Bolt, these are crazy good. These pretty much guarantee you to have crazy damage in the late game. So this is our investment for the future. We set it there. If you see any, like I said, any other kind of trigger or timer, probably grab it. The egg triggers and stuff, not so great, but a fun little mechanic that you can do with them. You can stuff things inside of them. So let's see. Here's an egg, and then again, if you put something after it, so like this is a spark bolt, right? We throw it, boom, sends out the spark bolt because it's a non-shuffle. If it was a regular shuffle, it makes it unpredictable, but this is a non-shuffle. So see, send stuff after it. So watch this. We stick the circle of stillness in the egg, and we throw it. Boom, there's the circle. So what you could do is you could throw it into the water. The egg does not crack. So let's put down one of our flum flats. Let's drop that down for a second so we have an open spot. You can actually hold on to an egg, and if you wanted to later in a fight or something, you could throw this out and it would still have it in it. That's obviously not the most useful with the circle of stillness, but you could, maybe you find a circle of vigor, which is a circle just like this, but instead it heals you. That could be pretty useful. You could be holding on to an egg that has a heal in it without even having to put it in one of your wands. And you could have it then tucked away safely so that you can have the spell for later. Pretty cool little combo. Things like that, that's extra information, but I figured since we came across it, and I'm trying to give you guys hundreds and hundreds of Noita hours of experience in like a short, maybe 45-minute video, 30-minute video, I don't know what this is going to be. I figured I'll throw that at you. It's at least some random useful Noita information. Maybe one day could save your life. Okay, so we have two kind of digging wands. We got some other mediocre spells, not too interested in them. The reason I chose Spark Bolt is because Spark Bolt has more range than the Spitter Bolt, but Spitter Bolt has more damage, so it's up to you. If you want to get in enemies' faces and shoot them like this, go for it, because you'll kill them faster. But I like to keep safely far away from them. Also, Projectile Repulsion Field, it's a top tier perk. I have a video that talks about all the perks and everything. You can watch that if you're looking to learn more about them. Some perks are so good they literally win you the whole game. If you find it in the first Holy Mountain, you pretty much have an easy win. So it may be good for you to learn them all, but this is not the video for it. It's just too much information to cram into one video. Too many people would be falling asleep listening to all those rants back to back. But for now, let's keep it to in-game mechanics. So this level right here, this biome, is the coal pits. Ooh, that enemy right there just picked up a wand. It can be scary when an enemy picks up a wand. It can be a big deal. They could one-shot you. So right here, it's in fire. I'm gonna go ahead and throw water on myself as I look through that fire. This wand has pretty good stats. It is a shuffle though, so most likely we're not gonna make use of it, but we will hold on to it just in case this is the best wand we find. Let's hope that it's not. But you never know. Alright, what do we got there? This one is interesting. It's got a triple spell. It's got some of these bombs and everything. I'm not really interested in that, but that triple spell is interesting. This wand, though, the stats of this wand, you may have been like, well, why? It's a non-shuffle. Aren't you interested there? The recharge time is so garbage, it just can't even be considered. Anything past like 0.6 or 0.7 recharge time, usually I just stop paying attention to it. There are ways to fix wands with recharge times past that, but it gets to advanced mechanics. So we see the triple spell. We want that. We'll grab it for now. Worst case, we may come back over here, grab the dropper bolts to use it for digging, you know, in a later area, but we may not need it at all. So just keep in mind where we left them is essentially what I'm saying. But this level, the coal pits here, this level is fantastic for farming health. Not that it's guaranteed that there will be health in it, but it is a great level to kind of slow down, see if the game is giving you any extra health to help you in the later part of the game. I see a lot of players focus on just farming the gold dust in this level, and that's like it. Like they kind of just, they look for gold dust, they look for a couple wands, and then they move on. When in reality, it's like you should be focusing on hearts in this level, man. This hearts are, like I'm thinking I leave this level, maybe I find 2 hearts is like a safe bet. So this wand here is a shuffle. Not really that interested in it. Actually, what were the stats on it? They were pretty decent stats, though. So I'm just trying to stay away from these guys. Those guys do melee attacks. If you're melee immune, you don't even have to worry about them. But this is why I chose the Spark Bolt. Spark Bolt's got such good range. Kind of just hang back. Okay, so real quickly, if you want to know if you should drop a wand, because this one is a shuffle, this one is a shuffle. This one has a 6 cast. That one has a 5 cast. Both very good multicast. This one has slightly better mana charge than this one, but look at the recharge time. 0.42 versus 0.28. 0.28 is like better, right? Like it's clearly this one is just better stats. But if you were to grab this one, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Both of them are decent wands in terms of stat-wise, but it's just the fact that they're shuffle kind of makes me say, hey, they have no future. Probably not going to use them. Ooh, interesting. A wand that is only 2 capacity, but has a freeze charge on it. This is where you start having to make decisions. You know what? We're going to let go of this wand that I just went comparing and all that. This wand is also on the chopping block soon. We want to get rid of it. It's just, I need something to dig right now. So, we'll get rid of that one. This is all personal preference. There isn't necessarily a right decision. Not everybody is going to drop the same exact wand there. That's what makes Noita awesome. You don't have to understand those decisions perfectly. Like, you could literally swap out the other ones and you'll still be able to come up with a game-winning wand. It's just, the freeze charge is probably the crucial thing that the takeaway there. You want to walk away with that freeze charge. Oh, you see that? I can tell there's an enemy over there holding a wand that is shooting out large explosives. Though they're explosive boxes, so they don't really explode on their own too much. Oh, look at all those. Look at those things. So you see these? Oops. So the reason the shot went so awkward is because projectile repulsion field. Let's try those. Oh, the repulsion field is just throwing them. There we go. So yeah, that was a pretty cool explosion. I mean, that's Noita, right? Always cool explosions going on everywhere. The key thing is, though, you recognize those explosions, and when you set them off, you do it from a safe distance. I just threw one of my bombs at it. Oh, there he is. So he'll die when I throw these down there. Like, I'm certain he's gonna, yeah, he did. There's one more thing, so make sure you clear them completely. Get rid of them all together before you go checking that wand. Alright. So yeah, some mobs do, oh my god. Some mobs do pick up wands, and it can be very dangerous. So this add mana is huge. Add mana is one of the greatest spells in the game. Adds for super creativity, and it's got a triple spell on it. So this triple spell becomes way less important because I'll have this triple. So yeah, we can swap this for that. Easy. Easy, easy. Gold's still looking really good. But I haven't found a heart. That's my saddest thing. The key thing, though, I'm looking at my health. I see that my health is high, so I can keep exploring. Obviously, for me, since I know a ton of the enemy's attack patterns and all that, my health tends to be above average. So, on purpose, I'll do little things like walk through this toxic sludge for this video, just to teach you how, you know, how these little things can wear away at you. Oh, there's a heart here. I probably walked right past it. I wasn't paying attention. So again, treat toxic sludge, though, like fire. Spray water up, jump into it, boom. Toxic sludge is off of you. So we got 25 health from that. Woo! Little things like that. That's how you win. Get those little healths. They add up very quickly. How am I going to get through this? Blow that up, I guess. Ooh, the rats bit me. Ooh, sorry if I'm pausing for a moment. Just so much ranting. I'm like, oh, there's so much to cover in Noita. It's crazy. And I know some people are watching this. There'll probably be more experienced players that maybe stop by this video and they're like, why isn't he mentioning this? Or why isn't he mentioning that? There is just so much to mention in Noita that you have to, when teaching new players, I'm having to focus on what I consider just the core mechanics for laying a foundation. That doesn't mean there isn't more to learn. It's just these are core mechanics. So Energy Orb with Trigger, that is a very great spell for digging. And Luminous Timer, just anything Luminous related, you probably want to grab that. They're pretty awesome. So we've spent a good chunk of money there, now we're poor. The fact that there was a shop in the level, though, was pretty lucky. That's random. You don't see it every run, but they're also not crazy rare. If you do enough exploring, you will come across them. Just exploring around over here. Again, my main goal is hearts right now. I would say another heart would put me in a good place where I feel comfortable. So this is one of those things that is an advanced mechanic, and I know that there is a chance for a heart to spawn here. You will get used to that the more you play the game. Formations are consistent. That's one of those that you don't need to do like flashcards and memorize every formation, but the more you do it, you'll start to recognize patterns. So I know that there's a chance for a heart to spawn there, and I'm really wanting to head down there. So let's see if we can get over there. It's only at 30%, but okay, chest instead. That's also good. So anytime you see a chest in water, do not open it with your hands. Shoot that. If it drops electricity, you will insta-die. I am trying to save you from from a mistake that many players have made. If you play for 2 hours or an hour and you die to that, I mean, you literally just learn a mechanic that costs you an hour or 2 hours every time. I'm trying to save you that time. So shoot them. See, that one right there actually dropped the very thing that I was talking about. So let's pretend that that chest instead was in this water over here, which it's just random if it was. We just got randomly lucky that it wasn't. But instead, if I had opened that chest and it dropped this, boom, instant death. Yeah, so save yourself some time. I know it's annoying having to shoot chests open and everything, but there's no, like, it's just safer to shoot them open. It's very rare that you end up shooting it and like it's a flask that somehow breaks and you're like, no, what have I done? More often, you just die. So play it safe, shoot them open. Try to get your first win here. We're focusing on consistency and getting your first win, and that's why little things like that are important for you to pick up. All right. Just spamming enemies down. I'll even fly through this because new players may make that mistake. It will burn you a bit, but it's not like you're gonna insta die. If you go through enough of it, if you go through a thick amount, yeah, it'll kill you. This is another example of how the world gen works in Noita. There is I recognize this formation. It's a wood formation. And there is a good chance of a chest or a heart right there. So I will try to find a way into it, but there's no guarantee. So what we're doing is we're throwing these explosive blocks that we found earlier. And hopefully they will help us dig our way around in here. Hey, you! Explode! There we go. So I think I saw a chest down here. Yep, there's a chest. So, the heart would be preferred, but that's not bad too. So we keep dropping off these. Hopefully you'll have something better than this. This is kind of an awkward way to dig, but sometimes you get lucky, find a really good way. Sometimes you don't have the best. This right here is our future digging wand, the energy orb. But right now, this is, we gotta work with what we got. Always cast egg, triple cast. Triple cast is the only thing I want here. The rest of it still not worth. It doesn't beat out any of my current wands. Though soon I'll be getting rid of that magic missile because hopefully we'll find something better than just a single magic missile. Here we go. Here is an upgrade. Spark bolt with timer. So again, earlier we put up the spitter bolt with timer. This is another example. So some players may say, well, what if my shop doesn't have a spark with timer or a spitter bolt with timer? Well, I found a spark with timer in the level. If you keep looking around, you will find a trigger or a timer. If you're curious what's the difference, a trigger, whenever it makes impact on an enemy, it'll fire off the spells that are after it. If it's a timer, after a set amount of time, it'll fire off the spells. Or if it makes impact. Pretty much, they're very similar, but there's like subtle differences. Both of them, though, can be used in a very similar fashion. So either one, we're happy with. Trigger, I prefer triggers, but some players prefer timers. It's really up to you. I think most people prefer triggers. Because it's just nice being able to hit an enemy and all the spells just blow up in their face. Rather than having to focus on like the timer, timing it where it hits at the right moment, all that kind of stuff. Wow. Wow. Another add mana. So this is where things get interesting, because another add mana is the right play to make here, but it's kind of like RNGesus. Like, I feel like this is really good luck, things are going my way, and I don't want players to be like, well, okay, if I get 2 add manas in the first level, you know what I mean? Like, I have to play things in a way that makes sense for a regular starter player. So We're going to go ahead and just walk away with one of the ad manas rather than both of them. But if I could take both of them, I would probably give up, I don't know, probably the freeze charge. Freeze charge is really good for new players though. But for better players, you don't necessarily need the freeze charge. So I would swap these for me personally. And maybe you're already getting to that point where you can make that play as well. But freeze charge, like I said, in the hands of a new player is really good. I do like the double spell, though, over the triple scatter. Triple scatter spreads your shots, while a double spell casts 2 spells in the same direction. Like, it doesn't add any spread. So we will make that swap. One bad thing about that move we just made, though, is that the boxes were one of the few things that we had to dig. So look, this is that formation again, the formation that I just pointed out to you. It shows how consistent it is. So there's another chance for a chest or a heart there, and we would like to get down there. So this wand can actually dig. Plasma cutter does dig. It's just a little bit dangerous. You have to be very careful. I have a repulsion field, and it's shoving away the digging, so that's pretty nice. So let's see. Okay, hold up. Anything here? Okay, nothing here. So if you hover your mouse, you can see right up here in this corner, it labels stuff. Some people have the label right next to their mouse. It's personal preference. It's whatever you prefer. I keep mine up here. So when you hover your mouse here, it'll say that there is a heart there if there is. In my case, there's not. So sad face. So if we keep heading left, the area actually becomes pretty crazy. It is. Oh, let me get over here. It's called the Fungal Caves. And it has awesome wands, or potentially awesome wands, but very dangerous enemies. I'm not going to go, exploring in there too much, but I do want to kind of do a little peek so that you can kind of get an idea of what the area looks like. See there, this is a non-shuffle, but again, that recharge is too terrible. Fungal Caves, yeah, this place highly dangerous. I would recommend as a new player, you really don't venture in here right now. More harm than good will come from it. But it doesn't hurt just to kind of peek at the edge and maybe grab a wand here, because this could have been an awesome wand. It did. If it spawned in the fungal area, it's got the possibilities of the fungal cavern. So this had the possibility to be a pretty great wand. We just didn't get lucky there. No big deal though. No big deal. So let's go ahead. Let's move on. Alright, we got 500 gold. That's not terrible at all. I'm literally just trying to find my way out of here, because 51 health is pretty low. I'm sad, though. We didn't find 2 hearts. I kind of thought, okay, we're going to get 2 hearts in this level. We just got unlucky. If you notice, we had 4 chest spawn. 4 chest spawns. On every spot that there was a chest spawn, I think it was 4 chest spawns, right? Maybe it was 3 chest spawns. But every spot that a chest could spawn, a heart could spawn there, too. It's just, it's like a roll of the dice. 40% chance a chest will spawn, 30% chance a heart will spawn, 30% chance nothing will spawn. So I saw the formation. Oh, what's going to be here? You know what I mean? That it's that kind of thing. They could have been all hearts. Sometimes it's just how it goes. Sometimes I'll look in those formation. Boom, there's a heart. There's a heart. There's a heart. And knowing little things like that will make it where, when you do your run, you'll have one of these runs where the stars just align, and you'll be leaving this level and you'll have like 400 HP. Just because, you got lucky. Instead of chest spawning, you just kept finding heart after heart. Luck was just in your favor. Alright, so we are moving on. Again, nothing too crazy right now. It's not like anything that I've done should require a ton of skill or anything like that. I think I've been playing in a pretty basic way. There's teleports in here. This is huge. I'm going to show you how to use it, but then I'm not going to use it because I feel like, it's... This right here can easily break the run open, make it super easy on you. Here, what we're gonna do, there's each one of these perks can be cool for different reasons. In fact, if like I said, if you want to learn more about it, go to my perk tier list. I go into detail on a lot of these. But we're gonna grab Plague Rats. Plague Rats. I like it a lot for new players. I think it helps people, stay alive because the rats cause chaos. They aggro the enemies so that you can stay alive and keep the run going. So the plasma cutter is our only digging tool that we have right now, currently on our wands. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a better digging wand. So this right here, the energy orb with the trigger, is a much better digging wand. For the snowy depths, that is. Because snowy depths, you'll see that the orbs dig very well here. Also, I wanted to show you about the teleport, so let me quickly show you how it works. So right here, there is an invisible trigger line right across here and right across here. Oh, my character's making a weird noise. Here and here. If you avoid walking across that with your character, like by teleporting across, this mountain will not collapse. So you could go out in this level, find new wands, come back in here, and then build a better wand so that you can then continue to explore this same area with just better and better wands. However, I won't do that just because, you know, it is kind of an somewhat advanced mechanic, and some players may have a hard time pulling off that teleport. But yeah, that's an important mechanic to know, and a really good way to use the telly there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with a recharge maybe? Let's see. You know what? We could go with an interesting one. Let me try out a couple actually. So if we were to go with a Spark Bolt timer. I hate using shuffles, but we haven't really found a lot of options. So what we could do is we have that, and then we put on another Spark Bolt, a multicast. Remember, this is a shuffle, so it's going to go in a random order. So we're kind of just stuffing stuff onto this wand. Oh, not that one. Let's put on 2 of our timers and some spitter bolts. So let's see how this looks. It's a little awkward, and if we had a non-shuffle, we could turn it into a monster, a decent non-shuffle. But this only has 2 capacities, so we can't really work with this one. So we're gonna go with this. I think I'm happy with this. I mean, you can just shoot the statues, check your damage. That's enough. That's enough to get by here. Not a big deal. Okay, so we're gonna move that up. This add mana will come in use in a little bit, and we move on. I mean, I say in a little bit. I'm doing this in one shot with no edits, so I really have no idea where this will go. But like I said, Noita's, you know, once you've played it a decent amount, you can win really consistently. So you kind of can see where things are gonna go. So these enemies right here, this is about knowing attack patterns. These guys, if you rotate in like a circle or a semicircle around them, they don't really attack you. So we're just spraying away at enemies, shooting away at them. Cover myself in water, jump into that. See, didn't even burn, well, burn myself for like 2 health, but still. Get some gold with very little health damage. Some concentrated mana, that can be nice. Concentrated mana is not bad. You probably haven't seen too much of the flask being used, and that's fine, especially when you're getting your first win. My first couple wins, I did not use the flask like at all. That doesn't mean they're not good. They can be amazing. They can like win you runs that you should not even like, you know what I mean? Like when you're about to die and you made a mistake, but then because you have, you know, good flasks, you end up getting a win anyways. These will just add to your playing. First, you got to get your first couple wins, and then the flask usually just expand upon it and allow you to be more consistent. But they aren't necessary to get your first win, so that's why I haven't really gone into too much detail on them. You'll notice in the snowy depths, I'm kind of careful when I turn a lot of corners, because there can be an Uka around any corner. Ooh, that is annoying whenever these flasks break. In fact, I'd recommend anytime you see Polly around, you just say, you know what, I'm going somewhere else. There's our energy orb digging. And it's another shuffle wand. It's got a crit on it. We'll grab that, I guess. You saw me grab one earlier. I mean, sometimes I may not say what I'm doing. I just grab random spells because think of it like recipes in something that you're cooking. You don't necessarily, when you buy like every ingredient, always have a plan. Like when you buy salt, you're not like, this salt is destined to be part of eggs. I'm gonna make some scrambled eggs, and that is why I am buying the salt. I mean, sometimes you'll buy an ingredient with a specific idea, but in general, a lot of ingredients you kind of buy them because you know you'll need it at some point. You're just like, well, that's a crit right there, and that's a lot of these spells in general. They're like salt or pepper or whatever ingredient you're buying. You just know that you'll probably use it. You'll probably need it, so just snag it. And you'll come up with some recipe to work it in later. So right now we're just exploring around, mainly looking for health in wands. Health and wands. I wouldn't think that anything I'm using right now is that amazing. I mean, our non-shuffle wand, or I mean, our shuffle wand has a low cast delay, so I just threw a lot of spells on it, and that's what's getting us around right now. Nothing too impressive. And you could have thrown different stuff on there. You could have thrown, like, a freeze modifier on there. Like, why not? You could have. I didn't, but that doesn't mean it's, like, not the right thing to do. It's just, I just simply didn't throw it on there. And repulsion does save your butt a lot. You probably noticed that one of those shots got pushed away. That was the repulsion, just keeping me safe. What was on this again? It was like arrows or something. The wand has pretty cool stats, but at this point we're like in the snowy depths. We need to be finding non-shuffles. If they don't have spells that we're interested in, I mean, I don't even want to mess with them. I want to find a non-shuffle wand. And this is also another shuffle, it looks like. Yep, another shuffle. Blah. Give me... Ooh, there's Uko. So this is one of the reasons Repulsion Field is so good. Watch this. Repulsion Field is literally rejecting Uko shots. That is how good this perk is. Some people will pass this perk, and I'm just like, what are you doing? It has such huge potential. Something that rejects an insta-kill, I like that. This kind of scares me, because if your character ever gets stuck like this, yeah, you gotta hope that it digs away. Like, all you gotta do is mash all the keys, like WASD really fast if your character's stuck, and it'll, like, all of a sudden eat away a couple of the pixels. That's only if your character's stuck. It's an oil potion. There we go. The stats on this wand are not the greatest. I mean, sorry, my back's kind of itching. Yeah, it's not the greatest. I mean, 0.78 recharge is not impressive. Cast delay is not impressive. But hey, it's our first non-shuffle. I'll take it. Let's not get greedy. So at this point, anything that we gain, anything that we find in this level is we just become deadlier. More health would be nice. One slightly advanced mechanic, though, I will touch on here, is that this is a formation that has a 30% chance to spawn a heart, right? Oh, wait. It spawned a refresher there, actually. It could spawn a heart. It could spawn a chest. It's like right around this general area. So sometimes it's nice to dig into the snow. I kind of just stumbled across that refresher on accident. It was stuck in the snow. But yeah, it's this general area. I just recognize that formation. It's not a big deal. You'll learn those over time. And if you're wanting to know more about how, like, the world generation works, picture a checkerboard, all right? And you know, like with the squares, all the squares make up one larger square, right? Well, each square is pre-designed, but where it spawns each pre-designed square, you do not know. That's the part that's randomized. Alright, this is a weird looking wand. It has an always cast of Petrify. It's pretty wild, but we don't need this. I mean, honestly, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Like, I would not recommend for a new player to move on. Just keep exploring. We have still 113 health, but maybe a new player would have gotten hurt a little bit more, missing a little bit more health, but, you know, if you have health, keep exploring. It's only going to make the win easier for you the more exploring you do in this level. Obviously, there is over-exploring, but over-exploring would be like if you have like 2,000 gold and you're like still hunting around. It's like, all right, simmer down. You're too rich. But for me, you know, more health and stuff like that would be nice. But I'm going to play it as if I'm a player who's gotten injured and I need to leave early. So let's pretend that we are missing health. Little guy right there. All right. Again, you see fire, spray water on yourself, then you can walk right through the fire. Not even scared. 600 HP, I mean 600 gold is not the most, but we can buy a couple of these wands. We buy that one. Man, I would like to have bought that one. Don't have enough gold for it. And this one is actually amazing. 600 gold required. That one's not bad too. The spells on it. I'll explain in a moment. Okay, so here is a kind of interesting mechanic. Let's teach you guys now. It's a good learning moment for you. Okay, so spark bolt with timer. Remember how I said spark bolt with timer is awesome. It helps you have damage in the late game. So let's go ahead and walk over to the statue that I was showing you earlier. Come on. You shoot at it. Tells you how much damage you're doing, right? We can get it all the way up to, look like 37, 36, 44. Not terrible. Alright, so watch this. We're going to go ahead and put a spark bolt timer here. And then any spells you put after it, you're going to want to multicast to be able to cast those spells. So for example, if I put 2 spark bolts and I fire this, it's only going to fire off one spark bolt inside of the spark bolt timer, and then this one by itself. Here, I'll put a separate spell so it looks different. So, see, packages in the spark timer, but then another shot comes off. I use this board to test, you know, you can see your shots. It's firing off 2 different shots. This is one, and this is one. Instead, what you should do is you want these firing off together, like that. That's better. That's the reason you want a non-shuffle, is you want to be able to anticipate the order that the spells will cast and make it do lots of damage. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put a 6 cast in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have a 6th spell? Oh, do we not have a 6th spell? You don't want to put timers inside of it. You don't want to put more triggers and timers. That's can be a little bit confusing. I don't really like the slime ball that much, so we'll just have 5 spells. That's close enough. So this is not bad. We're gonna shoot this. We're getting 46 damage, 30, 30, 30. Now watch this. This is why the non-shuffle is crucial. We are going to put a horizontal path right after the spark timer. If you put it before the spark timer, it's gonna fuck everything up. Watch this. Can't shoot very well. It doesn't move correctly. You put it after the timer, and what's happening is that crappy movement is being applied to all of these, which is bad. It's a bad thing. We don't want the crappy movement, but it's worth the trade-off because it's adding 8 damage to every single shot. So this horizontal path that costs 0 mana, adds no mana. I mean, no mana cost. Is now adding, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 40 damage is being added from this one horizontal path. Look at that. We're hitting for 80 damage now. This is a very small addition. No advanced mechanics. It's just showing you how to utilize modifiers. So again, this crit. Well, where do you want to put this crit? Go ahead and put it right here. And now both of these are working together, adding damage and crits. You can't crit the statue, so you won't notice a damage increase there. But when you're hitting enemies, you'll notice it saying crit more often. So these kind of mechanics are what allow you to get to the late game consistently. So we're going to add this crit as well. Also keep in mind that for learning purposes, I tend to put these spells in a very specific location. But fun fact, you can actually put them like here. That'd be the exact same. You could put them like here. It's kind of awkward, but you just can't put them here, because it'll mess up the spark bolt timer. So I tend to put them like this. It's easier for people to learn with and all that good stuff. Also, the add mana is not necessary yet, because when we're firing our wand, you can see that we are not running out of damage. Like, I mean, we are not running out of mana. Mana is not an issue. Once you're running out of mana, that's when you say, all right, I need to make use of this add mana. But that isn't the case right now, so we're not going to worry about it. Also, I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to grab this wand here that has a spell on it that I like. It's called Linear Arc. Same idea as the horizontal path. It adds 5 damage to all the spells in the group. It does mess with the way it moves, but we don't care about that because we're putting it after a timer or a trigger or whatever. So let's go ahead and purchase this and grab this Linear Arc. Rotate it in there just like the horizontal path, and again, it's just adding to all this little group. So the spell package is just pumping damage, good damage too, like especially for this point in the game. So I want this wand. It costs 660. So my game plan is to go out into the level, collect a little bit of gold, and then come back up here and buy that wand. Also, I want to get enough for another reroll. So Let's go ahead. Let's get to exploring. Yeah, look at this. We're pretty much obliterating enemies. And we haven't... I could have had much better wands. Remember, I like had a teleport earlier that... oh. See that again in instant replay. What just occurred? Oh. So this is what makes Noita crazy. And you know what? We're gonna roll with this because I want to do this in one take and I want to show that stuff happens, you know. Things happen. So what happened in this one is one of my random shots flew to the side, hit a canister over here, which flew over here. I wasn't paying attention. It blew up in my face. I nearly died. That would have been a rough death, but hey, we're still alive. So if you end up having something like this happen, like I said, when you're low health, just get the hell out of there. So all of our plans that we had before, throw them out the window. We have no way to heal. This guy looks scary. He was holding the wand. We just want to escape. So the name of the game is Escape, and we're going to try to do it in a conservative way. There's actually a healer right here. This guy right here, he can heal you up, and it's actually very useful. I don't want to... it's kind of an advanced mechanic, though. I don't know. Should I show it? I'll show it for a second. So you can pour pheromone. I've been holding onto a pheromone flask. You can pour it on his head, and he will actually heal you. So, oops. He'll actually heal you. But I feel like that's kind of dirty because right now, not every player would know that, and that's just another thing to add to your tricks. But again, I could get a full heal, keep exploring here, keep getting stronger. But I'm going to pretend like I took that explosion, you know, and we just need to get the heck out of here. I should just kill him. That way he stops healing me. Stop healing me. So this level is the one that I explored probably the least. Because this level is just filled with explosives. They're everywhere. As you see, even as an experienced player, I ate an explosive like 2 seconds into entering the level. I was like, alright, we're in the Hisi base. Oh, Jesus. Help me. Yeah, I'm not too excited about this one. This is a very bleh wand. We'll grab it, but I really doubt we're gonna use it too much. Oop. I think it's a good thing I used that little bit of heal, because probably would have killed me right there. But again, we're just trying to escape out of here as quick as possible. You wouldn't do this, though. Normally, I'm kind of reacting to the moment, right? Like, we are in a scenario that we got low health, and we had to bail. We had to bail on what we had going for us. So there's the exit. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to exit. We're going to heal up, and we're going to come up with a new game plan. Let's see what spells are over here. Okay. We'll grab Stronger Levitation, help us levitate longer, and we'll move over the digging over to here. It's not a big upgrade, just help us dig a little bit better. And then we just continue onward. Keep going with what we had. This wand shoots, you know, very mediocre. There's lots of ways that we could upgrade it, but again, I'm not looking to use super advanced mechanics. We can put the All-Seeing Eye. I've kind of been holding on to that thing for a while. Oh, as soon as I entered, they were here. Like, look at this. This wand is so just basic, and yet we're still clearing enemies in the... Oh, they're biting me a little bit, but we're clearing enemies in the jungle. And the rats are helping me. The rats are eating them alive. A lot of liquid there. Ooh, that guy is holding kind of a scary wand. Oh, that's another one of those with explosive boxes. They've been loving those explosive boxes today. The stats on this are actually kind of wild. The recharge is not the greatest, but yeah, we don't want the spells, whatever. I would grab that, but I don't want to risk it detonating right in my face. And so we'll just move on. Jungle is a great level for boosting your wands and stuff, because it's not nearly as annoying as the Hisi base with explosives everywhere. The enemies are a lot more straightforward. Just shooting at the bad guys right now. These guys are a little tankier. You like to get close to them with the timer and just deliver the shots into their face. Music's popping off. Gotta love the jungle music. Alright, here's our little friend. Alright, he picked up a wand that he dropped. It looked like it had TNT on it or something basic. Yeah, TNT. Yeah, the wand stats are actually pretty decent. So what we could do is we could make that our new dig wand. It's not like a big deal. It's a small upgrade. So, it's all seeing eye. Look at that. Look at the spells. It must have been a chest. Oh, that's an ambrosia on the ground too. Ambrosia is a very, very, very good liquid. It makes you, you can take infinite damage. You can't even drown yourself in ambrosia. You're invincible when you're ambrosia. See that guy right there? He got some ambrosia on him. So he's actually kind of scary. It'll dry off of him. It just takes a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. I think this run is a pretty good showcase of the rats. They're not necessarily amazing, but they play their role. They're causing chaos, distracting enemies. That's all I needed them for. And look at my gold. My gold has slowly climbed up. If the jungle seems like it's lagging a little bit, it's probably because I'm, recording this at the same time as playing, and the jungle can be a little laggy already, so extra laggy. Not super laggy, but it's just running a little bit slower, I can feel, than normal. But we have piled up gold, and we haven't taken much damage. I have left this level before and found like 5 or 6 hearts and literally not taken like any damage because the jungle is just so much. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say so much calmer than the other levels as that guy comes flying off screen. But in general it is much safer than, at least for my style at least. I guess not necessarily everybody would agree with that, but I feel for my style it fits me. These right here are pretty good, but I mean they're too expensive mana-wise. 40 mana per cast. Look at this. 40 mana a cast, while these cost 5 mana, 5 mana, 5 mana. They're all 5 mana. So I would rather have these really low mana costs and add damage modifiers to them than have this high. Like, look at this. For 40 mana, it does 15 damage. Well, this costs 5 mana and does 3 damage, but we're adding on 8 damage and 5 damage and 2 crits on top of it, which when you crit, you do 5 times damage. So that, the higher mana spells sometimes are a little bit goofy. Like, they really don't make much sense because you wouldn't want to bust them out unless you didn't know how to utilize the modifiers at all. But if you know how to utilize modifiers, then low cheap spells, the low mana cost ones, those are the ways to go. We are just in search of a non-shuffle wand. This has been very conservative playstyle, by the way. Like, this is like the wands that I could have right now are just like full machine guns with, with thousands of damage per second. But I have chosen to play in such a way that, like I said, anybody should be able to kind of follow along, right? Like, we haven't done anything that's crazy advanced. It's been really simplistic. This is an upgrade, as you can see, non-shuffle. The stats are comparable. And the recharge time is slightly better than this recharge time, so upgrade. I guess we'll be letting go of this one right here. Actually, you know what? We can let go of All Seeing Eye. Might as well just cast it one last time. No reason to have it. It's not a big deal. It's another example of a formation. This formation right here, it didn't do it, but I call it the donut formation. It has a 30% chance for a heart to spawn in it. We just didn't get lucky. I would say a run like this, like if you watch a random person play on it, like I've heard them several times talk about like, oh, this seed is so unlucky. When in reality, this has been yes, like I haven't been gotten like hearts in perfect spots, but in terms of spells, like we have found some insane resources that if I was playing my usual style, we would already have a wand capable of dealing, like I said, thousands of damage. It's just I want to play in such a way that it doesn't require super advanced mechanics, and some of those would have taken some kind of, you know, like the teleporting in and out of the mountain. I feel like some players may find that a little overwhelming and not easy to replicate, so I'll keep that out of it for now. I just feel the need to repeat that because I feel like some people are like, see? Even for a guy who's played for 3,000 hours, his wands aren't crazy damage. When it's like, well, no, we could add crazy damage. We're just, gotta keep it simple for now. But if you like, and if you guys comment, or if people in the community ask for a, you know, a next level, you know, like here, this is the beginner guide, let's take it up a notch, then I would gladly show it. But that's almost on the level of what I show almost every day on my Twitch stream, because I pretty much am just, you know, building wands, doing thousands of damage, and just going ham. There's a lot of gold over there. There is a dragon in this level that you can kill. It's a mini boss, and he does drop a heart and sometimes pretty good wands. But I don't want to do something that could be hard to replicate. So let's go ahead and move on. No, well, the thing is, we shouldn't move on right now because I'm afraid it's going to teach players bad habits. You're going to see that they have, like, you know, really high health, and they're like, oh, better move on. He did. But at the same time, I mean, I'm ready to move on. Like, I feel that in the next level, as long as I find a non-shuffle soon, or I find one in the shop, we'll continue to grow in power, and we're going to have enough to kill the boss. Wow, look, there's even a healing bolt right there. I'll go ahead and snag that so I can show you guys something. I did have to drop my TNT wand, though. That was going to make it into my digging wand. It was a little bit sad. I will drop. So this wand has a energy orb with trigger, costs 50 mana. This one has an energy orb without the trigger, and I'm using it for digging, so this one's probably better. Though I do like the stats of this one more, but whatever. We'll drop it. Now we need to actually get out of here without digging, because, well, that or we could pick up the digging, dig a hole, and then leave. Get out of the jungle, though. It is a lag fest. Okay, shoot the little flower. Burn, come on. Come on. Okay, we made it through. Alright, so it's a spell shop. Nothing too crazy. Freezing gaze. Oh yeah, I remember earlier I had left a perk and I said I was going to return to it, didn't I? That's another, that can happen. That can happen. It's not a big deal. I was thinking like, wait, why do I only have 3 perks? So we haven't done any rerolls, so might as well showcase doing 1 reroll, 2 rerolls? 3 rerolls? Okay, the game just hates me today, apparently. We'll just grab faster projectiles, I guess. It doesn't really matter. All the perks were pretty lame. Okay. Moving all of our spells down here. 6 cast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess we can put the arrow on there. Arrow costs 20 mods. It's a little more expensive, but it's not bad. We're still going strong. I like the reduction, spread reduction. So we'll grab it. Maybe later we'll make use of it. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you though. The heal bolt. Alright, watch this. Heal bolt. I will show you. I currently have 2 methods to heal myself. So method number 1, you jump into water. Oh, actually no, it's not going to work very well. We have repulsion field. Well, if it wasn't for repulsion field, method 1 would work. Sadly, this isn't. So I'll show you still, but it's not gonna be successful. You jump into the water, you shoot up, And then, oh, I also grabbed faster projectiles. Two things I have messing with it. But if you shoot up while you're in water, the water resists it enough that you can then jump into the heal and you'll heal yourself. I have two things working against me. So what I have to do in this case is use the spark bolt with timer. And I'm going to, just like how when there's a spark bolt after it, you can ricochet it off the wall straight into myself, right? That spark bolt's flying right into me. Doesn't hurt me, but I'm going to, same idea. I'm going to do it with the heal bolt. So look at my health. I'm at 143 out of 190. Boom. 152. Oops, I missed a little bit. Okay, I'm drunk. There we go. So you can heal yourself as long as your aim is not garbage like mine. There you go. And you heal up. The reason you would do that before grabbing these is you can go out into the level, do a little bit of exploring, maybe get hurt a little bit, and then come back up here and then grab the heal if you would like to. But we're gonna pretend like we didn't even get the heal bolt because that is a pretty good spell. And again, we want to play like very conservative, like we're not having the greatest stuff. But let's not make it super reliant on anything crazy. Also, the freeze charge is a spell here that I've been kind of sitting on and I haven't showcased it. So let's go ahead and remove one of our crits and put a freeze on there. This does not work well on machines, which this level has a lot of machines on. But in areas like the jungle, this would have really shined. I should have brought that out so you could see how powerful the freeze charge is. Double crit was... This is actually kind of like a downgrade compared to this. This is better. Sorry for not busting that out sooner. And sorry if you were confused, wondering, why doesn't he use that freeze? But again, that's the fun of Noita is everybody's got their own style. I tend to not use the freeze a lot just because sometimes it makes the game a little laggy if I shoot tons of freezing shots everywhere because there's like so much snow. And I stream, right? So I try to make the game run as smooth as possible. But the last level was lagging like crazy. I don't know what the heck with that was all about. It must have been the capture software or something. But point is, that doesn't mean you shouldn't use it. You should probably bust it out. So again, we're going to go ahead and grab the stuff now. Also know that anytime you grab a health, it heals you, which we were full health, but it also adds a permanent 10 health onto your health, which is pretty nice as well. Okay, don't get stuck like I did. Oh! I'll explain what's happening in one moment if I can swap away. That was actually really interesting what happened there. So I can actually replay it. Basically, this is the danger of using freeze on your wand. If you get hit from a mage, this mage right here, he hits you with an effect called Twitchy. And Twitchy makes it where all your own shots can hurt you for a temporary amount of time. So look right here, there it is. My own shot had freezing on it, hit me in the face. And when it froze me, I froze holding my wand forward, and the wand shoots on its own with Twitchy. So what you need to do is pull out your flask, hold your flask out while the Twitchy effect is hitting you, and then after it's done, you can go back to pulling out the wands and all that. But that's another rough entrance. I've been making several of those, so I'm making it look harder than it should be. There's a Nuko, he's kind of scary. The rats are helping cause a little bit of chaos down there. That's why I chose them. Again, though, there's several perks that are much better than the rats, so don't think that it's like, you're like, well, the reason you can make it that far is only because of the rats. I mean, because there are much, much better perks. Oh, that guy's kind of dangerous right there. A robo dude. Alright, if you want to grab that money, just make sure you throw water on yourself while you do it. Be careful. Audio's getting a little weird. Alright, as you can see, you get used to putting out fire really quick over time. You'll get there. You'll start to get to the point where you just hear fire and you're just like, boom, flask. That doesn't take long too. That will happen within like your first like 100 or 200 hours. You'll be, if you play that much, you'll get there. Oops, I was moving a little too fast. I thought I was going to die. Let's go ahead and move past this. Let's get to a better spot to fight. Like I said, the machines don't really, they don't get frozen. Their weakness is the electric modifier. See, it wasn't so bad. That was even with getting hit with Twitchy and beating the heck out of myself with my own spells because of Twitchy. And still, we're very alive and kicking. Not super reliant on finding some kind of god wand to carry us. Just going with the little mediocre wand, stacking spells on it. Rats over here doing their part. Okay. Filling up the flask, grabbing the hearts. What are we gonna grab now? Wow. Well, we could just grab that. Another heavy shot. Literally multiple heavy shots here. Okay, so chat should know, or not chat, but viewers, or anybody watching, should instantly piece together the correct place. I mean, you can buy whichever one you want, but the heavy shot is definitely the purchase here. It's the wand to buy. Because heavy shot, I guess we'll go ahead and grab the stats of the other one. Yeah. Go ahead and grab this one. This heavy shot adds 44 damage. So, let's put it where the crit is, I guess. And we'll shoot this and look at our damage. Like, it should be pretty decent damage. 400 damage a shot. And we're just, you know, very mediocre wand. Nothing too crazy. That up. Yeah, let's just get back to it, I guess. Back to the grind. This is another example of a spell that you could add that costs 0 mana but adds damage. But again, we're filled here. So, but if we have a larger capacity, we just have extra. We have this crit waiting around. We have this 3 damage that adds, and this crit waiting around as well. This is, I mean, we just haven't found the greatest wands, and we're still thriving. I don't like any of these really. Yeah, I don't like any of these spells here. I mean, these perks here. I'll grab. I mean, living on the edge, I guess. They're all pointless. I don't need any of them. Could have just as easily walked right past them. Alright, get that mage out of here. Repulsion keeping us safe. This guy right here, anytime you see him, that means there's a crystal nearby. You kill the crystal and it'll kill him. Also, we got another biome modifier. Those are random effects that happen in biomes. They're not consistent. This one is like the darkness one, the mysterious one. So it makes it where you can't see very well. Like you can't tell where you've been. Normally there's like a fog of war that you can see where you've come from, but the fog of war is turned off essentially. I call it fog of war because of playing RTSs. Well, hello, little spider friend. Kind of in an annoying spot. You know what? Let's just go in another direction. We'll just leave him alone. Also, you'll learn what material is diggable in the Temple of Art. That one can be kind of tricky. Some materials aren't diggable, but like at the bottom of one of these lava, the left side, the bottom of the lava is diggable. That's one of those just to get used to. But you could always find another round. It's no big deal. Repulsion really makes this level easy. Like, watch these guys. These guys are highly deadly. And yet, Repulsion is just rejecting all their shots. And then our heavy shots are just, you know, massacring them. Also, the freeze, as you can see, does not freeze the ghosts. So that's a little bit, a little sad, but oh well. Right. A little bubble right there will chaotic poly you. Means it turns you into a random enemy. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Most likely it'll be a bad thing because you'll turn into an enemy that dies really easily. random ghost worm. I'll show you an example of finding a crystal and killing it. Let's see. Where is this guy from? Where is he coming from? There's two of them. Let's see. Kind of can triangulate where he's from. Okay, so it's over here. This one has a crystal somewhere over here. Yeah, here it is. So it must be, yeah, it's right in this wall. Because you can only move so far away from the crystal. So you can kind of tell where he's leashed. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here we go. That got a little scary for a moment. Like, the little spider guy will only move so far away from the crystal since he's leashed to it. So using that, you can kind of see, like, where does he seem like he's not roaming too far away from? That's why that one's kind of sitting there. It's like, you know, clearly its crystal is somewhere over here. Yep, there's the crystal right there. Okay, kill the crystal. Guy disappears. Man, I was hoping to cover even more information than I have in this video so far, but it's hard to cover general information without going into specific builds. But when giving a guide for new players, ooh, don't shoot that guy. Well, I mean, you can shoot him, but if you shoot him, you gotta shoot and dodge, because he reflects shots back at you. Oh, he fell into the lava and just died straight up. Sweet. Yeah, it's hard to give tips that aren't spell specific, and giving spell specific tips isn't always the most useful because you have to find that exact spell in your run to make use of it. And a lot of enemies here, the reason I'm not explaining how they work is they're not really too complicated of mechanics. You can probably just watch the video and just see how I just shoot, literally just point and click for the most part. You just kill them. As simple as that. And we reached the bottom. Our health's still solid. Nothing too wild. But I feel like if most people are watching this, they may feel like, what the hell? Like, this is just going so easy for him. That's because they probably haven't realized the power of triggers and timers. Because that's everything. Without this, our run becomes very, very difficult. Because we have to start to build some really goofy stuff. We have to get wild. But instead, we have this, so it's like, easy. Easy run, easy life. I'm trying to think if there was any kind of specialty wands we could have built here towards the end. That would be kind of fun. Nothing really comes to mind. To show you an example of how you can speed stuff up, though, I guess I could show you something like this. Actually, let's put it like that. That's once we use the luminous timer to remove some speed, because this is it normally. So that's where you start to get the advanced wand crafting and all that, and I didn't want to get into that in this video. That I wanted you to see. Basic stuff does the job. Just put modifiers in the right space, put them after a trigger or a timer, put a multicast, cram in a lot of spells, boom. You got a boss killer. And then here we just grab whatever. Too bad we didn't have Tinker with Wands everywhere. Though, if I had that earlier, I think it wouldn't be really a good video for you guys. Because just picking spells off of wands when you don't have it normally would be not a very good way to learn from. And yeah, so don't be afraid of the boss. Wait for him to put his shield down and just beat his ass. And I have repulsion field. Oh, actually gotta put out that fire. There you go, see? No big deal. Too damn easy. In fact, while I'm jumping in here, I don't plan to lock in the win because so far I have over like 1,080 wins, somewhere around there, and I've never gotten a win off stream. Every win I've ever gotten, I do on stream. It kind of makes it fun where everybody who's ever like followed my journey through Noita can track my stats. But normally what you would do is you would press E right here, boom, world turns to gold, all that stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to lock in the win here because I don't want it to affect my stats. So hopefully I was able to at least help some newcomers gain some knowledge to get them a little bit closer to getting their first win. Also, sorry if I didn't give too much details. As I was going along, I just felt like, you know, I just felt like here, it's a trigger, it's a timer, I cram spells into it. And while there is tons and tons of information to give about Noita and stuff to learn, it's kind of like random information, right? Like it seems silly to explain an advanced mechanic about how to use the add mana with the luminous timer to build some god wand when it would require you to find the increased the add mana in the luminous drill timer to actually make the god wand, right? So for now, I covered the most general basics. If you have any questions at all, just post it in the comments below. I will respond to them. I stream just about every single day, and then I alternate between Noita and Isaac right now, but I play a ton of Noita. And yeah, so I hope you appreciated the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Post the comments below, whatever, and I'll do my best to respond. Stay sweaty. Deuces, you guys, and good luck on your runs.